Welcome back to my channel. I want to show you guys how I crumb coat my cake without chocolate ganache. So don't mind me, I was just playing around. See my seriousness, as if I was doing something. Oh my god, this is so this is so funny. Oh, sorry. Sorry for that. I was just playing around. I was so tired here. I was already tired. I had stood all day baking and decorating other cake, so I needed that. I needed that drama. Oh my god. So like I said, we're from coating a cake without chocolate ganache. I'm going to be using cake crumbs for this. So what you need to do, of course, is to start layering your cake. This is a very good foundation, because if your cakes are not well layered, the aftermath will be tilting, right? So that's why you need to remove the dome on top of your cake, especially for people who bake cakes and their cakes have a dome. Most times my cakes are leveled, so but no matter how leveled they are, you see one part is higher than the other part, so you just have to remove it, right, and ensure that it sits properly. And if you look at what I'm doing here, I'm laying it back to back. Like, I'm not putting the top of the cake beneath. I don't know how else to explain that. Like, the bottom of the cake has to sit on the next layer, right? The bottom sits on the flat bottom sits on the next layer. This is one way to achieve a very straight layered cake. So you do it back to back like that. For me, except it's buttercream, when I'm doing buttercream, that's why the last layer I will just flip it upside down, because I know that buttercream will cover it. But for fondant cake, it's always back to back, so that you see now, you see this, I'm going to turn it upside down, right? Yeah. So the cakes are not burnt, there's no need to trim under or to carve it off. You see that this one is almost leveled, but I will still remove the top so that the next one can sit properly. This is one secret to layering. I know if this was a class, you pay a lot of money for it, right? But here I'm giving it out how I am doing it, because I learned baking on YouTube. This is me just giving back to the platform where I learned from. I've never attended a class. It has no beginners class, no master class, nothing. It has always been YouTube. So this is me just giving back to the platform where I learned from. And I hope that if you are resilient, if you are willing to, work hard, you can learn everything baking on YouTube. I tell you that. So I'm doing a 4 layer. So I'm going to be adding the final layer to it now. That cake almost did not want to come out, imagine. So you see that it's very tall. It's actually 10 inches. I think it's 10 inches tall. It's high, yeah. So I'll also remove the top a bit, because of course this is where our top fondant is going to come on later. Yes, I did not wear gloves because my hands were properly washed in the running water with soap, so I didn't have to wear gloves. So you can see that it's sitting pretty. Every layer is sitting on each other. Every layer is sitting directly on the other one. Then this is where your serrated knife comes in. For me, I have trimming dish, but most time it's trimming disc. Is it disc they call it, or dish? Disc, I think. But most time is when after trimming my cakes freehand. That's when I remember that I have them. So after layering it back to back, you just use your serrated knife and just start carving it gently. Don't over carve, just gently. But if you have the trimming disc, you can just place it under and use it. But if you don't have, this is a freehand trimming, because I know that it's not everybody that has trimming disc. So if you don't have, just use your freehand. It's very easy. Trimming of cake is one of the easiest things in baking. So just carve and carve. When you carve it like this, you would have to flip it around, turn it upside down, right, so that you can also trim the other side. Because most times if you don't do that, you realize that the bottom of your cake is bigger than the top. So that is why it's very important, even when you're uncoating your cake, it's very important to always flip it so that one part will not be bulging bigger than the other part. So that's what I'm about to do now. You just put a board on top and then flip it. Right, the cake is 9 inches, so it was very easy to flip. So you see that the bottom is a bit slimmer, so just do the same thing, trim it all the way around. I did not fast forward it while editing because I want you guys to, get everything. That's why the video is a bit long. If I fast forward it, you may not know how I did it. So you just have to be patient. It's just gently like this. There's no hurry. Gradually, you would achieve it. So for the top, you just place your knife on top firmly and then turn your turntable around. You have a smooth top. I have a plum, yeah, is it plum they call it? I have it, but most times I don't use it. I don't even know. But if you have, just to check how straight your cake is, you can use it. So that is that. This is the 6 inches. I had to fast forward this one so that the video will not be too long. So it's the same method for the 3. No matter how many you're doing, just follow the same method, you'll achieve the same result. I didn't want to use a 4 layer here. That's why I had to trim the last one so that it will not be too tall. I think this was already 9 inches tall also. So like I said, always flip it over. For the biggest one, this is 12 inches. It's the same thing. You have to, just follow the same process. So this was it. They are all done trimming. So now we are going to start crumb coating. So for the crumb coating, you need buttercream, lots of buttercream. You need a bowl. So what you do, you just use your hand to just grind your cake crumbs in a bowl, and then add your buttercream, and then of course mix it thoroughly. It had to be very smooth. So here I had to this fruit cake, so I had to remove the raisins, because if the raisins are on the cake, your crumb coat will not be smooth, right? So just pour your cake crumbs and then add lots and lots of buttercream, and then mix it thoroughly, mix it. Oops, sorry, slip off my hand. So mix it very well, very let it be very smooth, as if it's buttercream. Sometimes I even use mixer, to combine it very well. If you use mixer, it will be very smooth, right? I know some people will like, why don't you just apply the buttercream directly on the cake like that? You can do that, actually you can do that, but for me, for wedding cake, I like to have that hard texture, as if it's ganache, chocolate ganache. I like to have it on my wedding cake, so that by the time you apply a thin layer of fondant, you're good to go. Most times, if you don't stack your cake properly and you use just buttercream for the crumb coating, when you cover your fondant cake, you'll be seeing the lines of the layers, right? You'll be seeing the lines of the layers of the cake on the fondant. Except if you don't want to use add crumbs to your buttercream, except you ensure that your fondant is very thick. And for me, that's a waste of fondant, when I can just apply little crumbs to my buttercream, crumb coat it very well, and then use a thin amount of fondant I cover, and then I'm good to go, than using just buttercream and I have to use a very thick fondant just to hide the layers inside. So I think this is the best. It works. It has been working for me, and this is what I've been, especially for wedding cakes, right? In fact, I do it for all of my cakes. I use this for all of my cake, whether birthday cakes or wedding cakes, right? I think it's easier. It saves you a lot of fondant, because if your cakes are well crumb coated, just a thin amount of fondant, you are good to go. So after applying it like buttercream, just apply it thoroughly on the body like buttercream. You use your scraper and just scrape. It's very easy. Use your scraper and scrape, and you can see here the layer lines are all hidden in there. You can hardly tell how many layers they are, right? So that's why I recommend it, highly recommend it. So when you are done, just crumb coat it, smoothing it, then flip it over. This is very important. Always flip it over so that the top and the bottom will be equal, right? So don't always try to apply everything at once, right? So you can always flip over. You can see how it is. So I want you to also note that the crumb coat, it doesn't have to be too thick or too runny, right? It just has to be firm. The consistency should be that of your regular buttercream, because if it's too thick, it will not stay on the cake. It will not stay on the cake. If it's too runny, it will be, you will not have the desired effect or result you want. So the consistency has to be like your regular buttercream texture, the regular buttercream consistency, so that it can stay without struggle, right? So after that, again, you smooth it. You can already see that it's coming together. You can already see that everything is coming together. So So this is me just covering the parts, the patches on it. And this is Harmattan season here in Nigeria. When you do, you don't have to refrigerate it. Even during dry season or raining season, you don't have to refrigerate it. Once you are done, just leave it in your room temperature. It will harden by itself. On the next video, where I will be teaching you how to stack your cakes with PVC pipe, you will see that they were very hard. In fact, I could lift the 6 inches, lift it with my hand, like it was very firm and dry. And when you want to cover, there's no need of applying another buttercream. Just use your steamer, steam it, and you're good to go. So the reason why I don't crumb coat the top is because, of course, you know, you have to be flipping back and forth until you are done. So usually I don't crumb coat the top of the cake. When I want to cover, I will just apply. When I want to cover in front, I will just apply buttercream on top and just cover with my fondant. So once you are done, leave it in your room temperature. It will be very firm. It will be very firm. So here, just smoothen the top, and then your cake is all ready. Nice, very simple, very easy, all smooth. Just a thin amount of fondant. You are good to go. This is for the, I had to fast forward this so that my video will not be too long. This is for the big one. I'd already done the small one. It's just the same process. It's just the same process. But this one was very hard to flip because it was too big for me to handle. It's the same process for all the tiers you want to do. It's the same process, right? So you can already see that this one is looking very beautiful. So the reason why I do it half and half is just helps everything come together. I do the top first, I flip the cake over, I do the other parts. Everything just comes together. You can see this is looking really beautiful, right? Composting is very easy and makes your cake very smooth. When you cover this in fondant, the cake is very smooth. Your fondant smooth, everything is beautiful, right? So I highly recommend that you compose your cake like this, except you want to use chocolate ganache. Yeah, except you want to use chocolate ganache. And you know that in this part of the world, chocolate is very expensive. So most times this is how we do our ganache. I'm just kidding. Most times I use ganache too. The client has to really pay for it. Really pay for it. So this was the point where I needed to flip. I had to do sign of the cross, like, God help me, oh. Because it was heavy, like really heavy. Oops, I did it, yay. I have to say thank you, Jesus. Oh my God, because what? It's heavy. It's heavy. So this is just how I do it, right? And I know that most of you are already used to it, so I'm just dropping this so that you see how I do mine. And then of course you can also crumb coat your cakes like this. So when I flipped over, I noticed some places where a bit they're not properly covered, so I had to add a little of a crumb coat. So don't worry and say, is it not too thick? It's actually sweet because it's cake. And most times when you cover it in fondant, when you cut the cake, it usually goes with the fondant, so you have your cake intact. The crumb coat usually goes with the fondant, so you have your cake. So this is it, looking really beautiful. and then we are done. We are almost done with that. Me, don't mind me. This is already okay, but I don't know why I was still smoothing and smoothing and smoothing. I'm a perfectionist. I just like everything to be seamless and beautiful. So this was it, and here they all are, all looking beautiful. Like you can tell from here that it's really, really, really nice. Please subscribe, comment, and share. Please drop a comment for me. It's encouraging. Please, thank you for watching always. Thank you for subscribing. Please hit the subscribe button and then wait for my next tutorial next week, where I'll be showing you how I stack my cake using PVC pipe. Thank you so much. See you in my next video. Bye.